remember I swiped away from him, being very brutally honest, crying, anxious. Gonna give your son cancer by spraying that on his bed. I don't know whether I'll ever do that full time. May as well just get bigger boobs as well. I know, I never thought I'd say that, but yeah, I'm really excited actually, and I feel like it's right. Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel, At Home with Liv. I am a first-time mum to my little boy called Arlo, who's 2 years old, if you didn't know already. And in this video I wanted to do a big catch-up really. There's been some really big life-changing things that have been happening recently, and I wanted to do it in the form of like a Q&A, but just a relaxed one. Like, I'm not going to over-edit it. I just want it to be like me and you going to Costa Coffee or Starbucks and just chilling out and having a conversation, and just being like quite relaxed. So I'm not going to spend too much time like editing it, because I just want to say everything from the heart really, because there's some hard things in here to say. There's also, yeah, some personal things, so I'm just gonna get started anyway. So the first question that I had on my Q&A box that I put up on Instagram was, how did you meet Mikey? What's your love story? And a few people asked me this question, and we actually have quite a strange love story. Well, I guess it's not strange for this day and age, but we met on Tinder. And for me and Mikey, well, Mikey was on it a long time, I think. Like, he was like not a Tinder swindler, but he was definitely on Tinder for a while. But for me, I'd literally just downloaded it, and he was one of the first people that like came up. And I remember I swiped away from him because I was like really fussy. I didn't actually like swipe for anyone, and then he came back round on the cycle of like people, and I thought okay. And then he just started speaking to me about Love Island and stuff, and he like wiggled his way in with the Love Island talk, and then we just had like a few conversations on the phone and stuff, and then we decided to meet up at a pub near me, which was where my old house was, and it was like a lovely little country pub. And it makes me laugh so much, like thinking back to that time as well, because I remember when I first saw him, like, he's 6'7", and I don't think anything really prepares you for like when you first meet someone that is that tall, because I hadn't ever been around people that tall. Like, my ex-boyfriends were like 6 foot, 5'8", that sort. So it was really nice to have someone that tall. But at the same time, like, when I first met him, I was like, whoa, you're tall. And he was like, everybody says that to me. Everybody says that to me. But anyway, when we went to the little pub for our first date, because he was so tall, he ended up hitting his head really hard on the beams and like nearly knocking himself out, which was hilarious. And that was like the first moment I was like, he's a bit of me. So yeah, that was like how we met, and then we just like continued seeing each other, and I think we moved in like pretty soon, I think like 5 or 6 months, because I've always sort of wanted to settle down quite early and stuff as well, and so did he, because he's quite a lot older than me. He is 30 and I am 26, so yeah. That's how we met. And yeah, I think it's quite common this day and age to like meet on Tinder, isn't it? Like, you don't really meet people out and about anymore. Like, I wouldn't know what to do if someone came up to me and asked my number. I think I'd actually freak out. So yeah, Tinder is the answer. So the next question I had actually made me laugh quite a lot, and it's probably because I've been wearing more like gym, like more skimpy outfits recently, just because that's what I feel comfortable in, because they suck me in, they're nice to wear. I love gym outfits. But yeah, because of this, I've been showing more cleavage, and somebody has asked me, have you had a boob job? I have answered this in a previous Q&A, but yes, I have. I feel like this dress is really see-through. It's really, but there's no bra on here. So I did have a boob job. Actually, when I first met Mikey, like, I'd booked it all in before I met him and everything, when I was like single, and I was like, yeah, I want to do what I want and stuff. And I booked it all in, and I had the operation like, I think like 2 months after we started dating or something, and I remember him helping me recover from it and stuff. So I had a boob job because one of my boobs was like an A cup, the other was a C cup, and it was really uneven, so I wanted to level them out, and then I thought, well, I'm paying the money anyway for leveling them out, so I may as well just get bigger boobs as well, because I wanted to feel good about myself, and that's what I wanted to do. And I'm very much in the mindset of like, if you want to do something for yourself to make you feel better, then go for it. Like, life is too short. So that's what I did. I went for it, and I think it was about £5 I got it done at Maya Cosmetics in London, which were awful, by the way. Really bad. Had a really bad time with them. But what happened after I had Arlo, if you're like a follower or a subscriber from way back when I had Arlo, I ended up having a problem called capsular contraption in one of my boobs. So it basically, the muscle, because of all your hormones going everywhere and stuff, like when you have babies, it makes it more common to occur, and it happened to me on one of my boobs. I think it was this one actually, and basically the muscle seizes and like hardens over your implant, and it makes your boob like rock hard. So I had to go and have an operation for that, and it was a nightmare. And they said, because you've had it once with like a child, you're probably going to have it again with another child, so that could happen and it won't be covered under warranty next time. So I've got to think about that as well. But yes, I did have a boob job in the in the long way round of putting it. I have had a boob job. So the next question I have had is, don't worry about answering this if this is too personal, but how much do you make from social media? So I'm not going to say exactly the amount of money I make from social media, because I do think there are some boundaries, like with putting things online, but it's not a lot of money. Like YouTube, I'll put a thing up anyway of YouTube. So YouTube, I'll put like a little screenshot here, but you have to basically, to be monetized, you have to meet a certain amount of watch hours, which is, I think it's about 4,000. You have to meet 1,000 subscribers. And to do that, that took me, I've had my YouTube about 2 years, and there was a point where I wasn't consistent, but that took me up until May to be able to get to the point to be monetized. And then once you get monetized, you then have to pass like a certain boundary of like how much you earn through your ad revenue. So you'll see recently I've got like ads that come up on my videos, and if people watch those ads, like the longer they watch them, the more sort of money I get, or if they skip them, it like lowers the money. So that's why I always appreciate if you watch the ads on YouTube, because it really does help me out. But essentially it used to be £30 threshold to then be paid out each month. Now it's increased to £60, and I think I'm on like £33 or something that I earn each month. But because I don't meet that £60 threshold, it gets deleted, and then the next month you try again, sort of thing. So that is the situation with YouTube. I don't earn anything from it. I'm doing it just because it's what I enjoy to do. But then on Instagram I do earn a little bit of money. That's the only really place I earn my money, through like affiliate links, or through affiliate codes. Like for example, Amazon have like an affiliate program, which is, I don't know, I think they pay like 5% or something. It's not much. And then the biggest amount of money comes from doing like collaborations, and they are few and far between. And on top of that, with collaborations, I turn down so much. Because I really selectively pick things that I think work for me, like something that I would want to show and that I would use. That's the only thing that I advertise on my Instagram. And I think I've had about four ads this year or something. So I'm always happy to discuss like actual money and how much I earn through it, like if you want to message me, but I don't really think I need to go into like exactly the figures I earn. But it's not much, it's really not much. So yeah, that is that question. I hope you didn't think I tried to skirt around that. I just don't feel like it's responsible like putting that on a video. So the next question that I had is, do you want any more kids? So yes, I do want more kids, and I would love to be in a position now when Arlo's like 2 to start getting pregnant or thinking about having another child, but unfortunately that's just not the way that it's worked out for us. And I think as well, because of the situation we were in when I got pregnant with Arlo. It's now sort of like a catch-up game to try and get my career on track. Sorry, I just had to delete some videos because of my storage. Yeah, so I feel like now is the chance for me. Like, I don't want to feel guilty about it, but at the same time I'm like, yeah, I just need to focus on myself right now. My mental health is very up and down, it's very unstable. So that's what I'm trying to focus on, and also my career. Although I love social media and I love doing it as a hobby, I don't know whether I'll ever do that full time. I don't know whether that's ever in the cards for me, or even if I wanted to do it full time. So I'm going to be going into a job, which I'll talk about more in one of the other questions, because a lot has been happening on that front. The next question I have is, what do you love and hate about being an influencer? So to start with, before I go any further, I'm not an influencer. I don't even know what that means. I am just an everyday mum, like you. If you're a mum, you might be a dad that's watching this, but I'm an everyday mum that just goes about my life and just records the chaos, really. That's really the only difference. But I am definitely not an influencer. I don't even know what that means. I just sometimes do content for companies. That's really the only difference. So things I love about being on social media, I love building friendships. I'm the sort of person that I may come across quite confident, like I've said before in videos, but it's only because I'm talking to nothing. I'm talking to a camera at the minute. Like, to me, I'm just talking into the lens, I'm just talking to the camera. But if you put me in a room full of like all of you together that are watching this, I'd probably like panic and have like major anxiety. I'm not really good out and about, and I don't really go out and about much. I don't really have many friends. I like to keep myself to myself. But what I love about social media is that at the tap of my fingers, I literally put up a story and say, I'm really worried about this, I'm really worried about that. I will have hundreds and hundreds, sometimes thousands of people coming back to me and giving me advice and giving me support, and that's what I love. I just love the community built on these platforms of mums just like me that yeah, share advice. I help them, they help me. That's what I love about it. So something I hate about social media and being on Instagram and stuff is obviously the trolling and like the negative comments, and people say like you need to have a thick skin to do this, but I'm not that person. I'm really not that person. I just love filming and I love making videos, but I'm definitely not the sort of person to have a tough skin. I'm very unstable, like emotionally anyway, so comments that come to me I do struggle with, and a lot of the time I do just block them out and I think they don't know me, they only see like part of my life. But when it comes to Arlo, that's when I think I get a bit more protective. So I've had comments, some of the horrible comments recently have been things like, you're going to give your son cancer by spraying that on his bed, your son can't talk, he must have learning difficulties. Those sort of things is where like the line is drawn, because you know, like your anxiety as a mum, like you already worry about a million things, to then have people like watch you, judge you, comment negative things, that is really hard to deal with. It really, really is hard to deal with, and I'm trying to do it and I'm trying to be better with it, because I guess it just comes with it, but at the same time, why should we have to put up with it? It's just not right. It's not right. Like, if you were out and about, you wouldn't expect someone to like shout abuse to you, so why do we have to put up with it on here? That's what I don't get. But that's one thing I don't like about it. And another thing that I didn't really sort of anticipate when I started it was how much it does kind of take over life. I mean, I love doing it, don't get me wrong, like I do love doing it, but it isn't just, I don't know, like going to do a dance class once a week hobby. It is a lot, because you have to be consistent, you have to record, you have to edit, which is the hardest part. And sometimes, like, because of my ADHD and my obsessiveness and stuff as well, I could sit editing a video all day for 8 hours. I really could, and that's why I said with this video, I'm not doing that. I'm just going to post it how it is, and it is what it is, sort of thing. But yeah, it takes a lot of time. It really does take a lot of time. You have to invest a lot of time, energy and work into it, so it is time consuming, but it's worth it. It really is worth it when you've got such a lovely base of people that you can just go to and yeah, connect with really. I'm just going to shut this window because there's a lawnmower going over there. Yeah, so the next question that I had was, how is job hunting going? Guys, okay, so if you didn't know already, for the last few months I've been unemployed. The only thing that's been sort of bringing in money for me has been social media. So I have been, it's been hard. It's been really, really hard because even though you get paid on social media and stuff for posts, you have to wait a long time for like, I mean, in some cases you could wait up to 60 days to be paid after you send insights. Like, it's not very consistent and you can't expect things to come like you would a usual paycheck. And I've definitely missed that consistency, and we have been stuck a few times with paying things, but we've got through it, and I have decided to go and do some temping, and I'm going to try out going back to teaching. I know, I never thought I'd say that. So I did my secondary school teacher training when I was pregnant with Arlo. In lockdown. It was mental. I trained in secondary psychology when I was pregnant with Arlo. Before that I was in HR, and then when I had Arlo I needed to go into a part-time role that was good pay, and that was HR really. So I went back into HR, and now I have had a bit of a break, a step back, and I've really asked myself, like, what fulfills me? What motivates me? What would motivate me to get out of bed every day? Because I just don't think HR's the one for me, I really don't. So I was thinking about how the whole way through my training I was like, I really wish that I was teaching primary school children. Like, don't get me wrong, secondary school teaching is good, and it comes with its own challenges, and teaching comes with its own challenges as well. I'd always thought that I would do better with younger children, so I'm going to try it out, and obviously I need experience before I go straight into a job. So I'm getting some primary school teaching experience through temping, and I've signed up to it. I've got my contract, everything's been completed, and schools go back start of September, so that's when I'll start to get things come in. And my plan is, like they said to me, I could be in a school for like 6 or 8 weeks and have to plan the lesson, or I could just be doing day work here and there. But I said to them, my goal is, if all goes right, and I do love teaching primary school children, then by Christmas I want to be a permanent primary school teacher. I don't know if I'll do full-time or part-time. I'm just rolling with it at the moment and seeing what happens. But if you're a primary school teacher, please do get in touch, because I need all the help. I don't know where to start. I don't know anything about the curriculum, and obviously I trained in secondary, so I don't know anything. I don't know where to look for resources, so please do message me. And it's going to be primary school, so in Bedfordshire, like the area that I'm in here, you've got like lower, middle, upper, all of those sort of schools. I have no idea, to be honest. I'm so used to the primary and secondary system, but here it's very different. So I think it's up to year 5 or the end of year 4 that you're in primary school, so that could be the range that I'm teaching up till. But yeah, I'm really excited actually, and I feel like it's right. You know, when you just, in your gut, you just need to go down a certain path, and I think this is what this time was meant to do for me. Like, I was meant to just take a step back, breathe, think about actually logically what I'm qualified in, what I could go down, and then go with the flow of it. And that's probably why none of these HR interviews have worked out, because this was the path I meant to go down. Yeah, so I'm really excited about that. And then I've got one more question to answer here, and that is, how is your mental health doing? So I'll try and cut it short, but in essence, it's up and down. Like, for example, being very brutally honest, last night didn't go to sleep till 2 o'clock in the morning, crying, anxious, worried, feel like end of the world, everything is the end of the world. And then today, this morning, I wasn't very good. Lunchtime, something changed, and I feel a lot more positive, I'm able to record, but when I'm in those low states, I can't do anything. Honestly, I can't brush my teeth, I can't get dressed, I can't even remember to like eat, drink. It's like a horrible, like, oh, I can't even describe it. It's like you're trapped in your own mind and trapped in your own body, and then all of a sudden I could click out of it and live again. So it is really hard. It's very up and down, but I am really trying, not just for me, but trying because the fact I'm going to be a school teacher and I'm going to have responsibilities, and also trying for the fact that I'm a mum and I've got Arlo and I've got a partner, trying my hardest to do every single thing I can to put myself in the best possible mindset. And that is by making little choices. Like for example, today Mikey went out for a walk on his lunch. I said, can I join you? I've been trying to drink more water. I've been trying to do more things for me. I've been doing more skincare, got all my LMS skincare. If you want a discount code, by the way, I'll put it down below because I love my LMS skincare stuff. But just having a bit of pamper self-care time has really done me good, and I think that's what I need to keep doing. Just keep building in little things each day for me, and just for me, to better myself as a person, and that's what I'm going to keep on doing. And this evening I am also, for the first time since, I think it's been about 4 or 5 years, actually probably maybe even more than that, maybe like 6 years, I am going to the gym. So I am finally getting back to the gym. I'm going to go on like a taster, I don't know what's called, like a taster session sort of thing. Like a trial today, and then potentially sign up to it permanently. But it's the same gym as Mikey goes to. We're going together, and yeah, Mikey's mum and dad are going to look after Arlo while we go for like an hour or so. And I'm actually really excited. I'm really excited just to move, because I don't do enough exercise. I really don't. The only exercise I do is sometimes walking to town and cleaning, because cleaning does actually require a lot of energy and it is a form of exercise. That's what I like to tell myself anyway. But I'm going to go today and I'm going to do a bit of cardio and just get moving again. So I think it's positive steps in the right direction, and that's all I can do at this point. But that's all the questions I'm going to answer today. I really loved just sitting down with you and just talking normally, like unedited, just chit-chatting. I love doing that. I hope you did too, and I hope you have a lovely rest of your week, whatever you've got planned. Do drop me a comment and let me know how you all are. And yeah, make sure you like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in Sunday's video, which is going to be another cleaning motivation video. Bye guys.
I don't know what else to do. I wanna get away from every little